Hello amigos, welcome to episode 28. In the last 3 episodes, we explored the use of Luminar as a plugin for Lightroom and taking advantage of the great artificial intelligence options that it offers us. In this episode, we're going to continue exploring artificial intelligence, but this time we're going to use a different tool, Topaz Sharpen AI, which give us the options of applying sharpening on focus adjustment to our images. Ideally, all our images are tack sharp when we take them. However, every so often that's not the case, either because operator error or equipment malfunction. So I'm going to show you 3 examples on how I use Topaz Sharpen AI to improve the focusing of these images. So let's go to Lightroom. Here we are in Lightroom. Here's an image of a great wolf that I had taken at Yellowstone about a year ago. It was a great trip. Unfortunately, my camera, Canon 72, wasn't focusing properly. After the trip, I had to send it to get repaired. But as you can see in this image, the wolf, the head is not properly focused. If I magnify it and I go 1 to 2, you can see the hairs and the ear and the eye, not quite focused, just tack sharp like we wanted. So I used Topaz. I just want to show you the after. So I took the image as I had already processed it, and I went to Topaz, and as you can see from this image, it made a big difference. So let's compare both. Here we have them side by side. On the left, we have the image that I had done in Topaz. On the right is the original image. This image on the right already had all my adjustments. It had sharpening. I really couldn't do anything within Lightroom to try to get much better than what we already have. So I took this image and I did the edit in Topaz and resulted in the image on the left. And as you can see, the hairs on the back of the wolf, the tail, the ear, and even the head is fairly sharp, and this is at 1 to 2. So now it becomes a more useful image, instead of just displaying it small in an iPad or in a smartphone. Now I can potentially print it larger. Now let's compare another image. Here we have an image of a red fox. Same thing was happening. The image looks okay, but the sharpness, the focusing wasn't tack sharp. Same thing happened with the camera. I had already processed this image and had used texture and clarity and sharpening, and this is the best that I could do. So I took this image and I went straight to Topaz and created this TIFF file from Topaz that looks radically different. Now you can see a much sharper fox compared to the one that we had before. So let's do the before and after comparison. So here you have a 1 to 2 amplification. Just compare the hair on the chest of the fox. You can see much finer detail on the image on the left. The ear is also quite a bit sharper. The area on the eyes. However, if I go to 1 to 1, you may notice some artifacts, some haloing here on the edge of the tail, on the edge of the chest, and also on the bottom. Now, because of that, I think it's better to have close to the raw image, maybe just the color corrections, but not clarity, sharpening, and texture, and take that image into Topaz. So try to avoid some of these problems. To demonstrate using Topaz, I'm going to take this other image. This is an image of 3 geese flying in formation at Bosque del Apache, and now you can see the image is very nice. We have very nice wing positions of the geese, but if you actually zoom in, the heads are not quite sharp. In this case, it wasn't necessarily a camera malfunction, but the geese were coming at an angle, moving very fast, and the autofocusing on the camera just didn't keep up. So what I did is, this is the completed image. I made a virtual copy where I kept all the color adjustments, but I removed clarity, texture, and any sharpening. Just left the color adjustments. So let's take this image and go into Topaz. So we're gonna have the image, edit, edit in Sharpen AI, which is the Topaz Sharpen AI product, edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments, and go to Topaz. Lightroom took us to Topaz, and when you first open Topaz, it does some initial processing of the image. Topaz Sharpen AI actually has very few controls. There are 3 modes of processing the image. One is to add sharpening. The other one is stabilize, and you can use that one if, for example, you were doing panning or you had some camera shake, it will try to correct that. And then focus. All these 3 use a big training set of images to train the artificial intelligence, artificial brain behind this software. So I'm going to choose focus because I believe that's what happened in this instance. So now it's going to take a few seconds to process the image. Well, it has completed processing the image. It automatically selected the appropriate settings for removing blur and suppressing noise. You also had the choice of adding grain. You can do a split screen comparison. So this is before the focus adjustment, and this is after. And you can see I actually added additional focus adjustment. You can see it on the heads of the geese, especially here, the one on the bottom. Now we can take this image back into Lightroom, and we can, add our own clarity, texture, and sharpenings and make it even better. Now you have the option of then adjusting up or down. If you believe it was heavy-handed, you can remove blur a bit, or you can add it. And it's as easy as clicking apply, and this is going to generate a TIFF and take us back into Lightroom. Well, Topaz took us back to Lightroom. It created this TIFF file. And now what I want to do is I'm going to do some develop in the basic panel, so I can compare it with the image that I had done before. I know on that image I had done about 15 points of clarity and texture, and then I'm going to go to the detail panel, put the window right there. I'm going to bring it to 1 to 1 with the Alt key. I'm going to try to go and see what amount of sharpening. I know before I had used about 80 points. This time I think we need a little bit less, about 60. The radius was this, we're going to put it the same as before. Similar with the detail. I think the detail before was about 37, 38. And then masking something around 50 points. So it's just applying the detail to the geese and not to the background. So here's the image, the TIFF with clarity, texture, and sharpness. So let's compare this image with the original raw image. Well, here we have the images. On the left, we have the image that had come out of Topaz Sharpen AI. On the right, the original, as close to raw image that I had in Lightroom. So now let's try to zoom in and see if we can see the difference better. Here at 1 to 2. As you can see from this image on the left, this image looks a lot sharper. The image on the right, especially the heads and the necks of the geese, were slightly out of focus. You can see it on the top of this right wing on the geese. Just look at the white area with the black, that contrast really allows us to see the amazing job that Sharpen AI did. So now this image is very usable. I can take this image, finish processing it, maybe pay a little more attention to the sharpening and the clarity, and now I can print this image without having to worry about the lack of focusing that I had on the main subjects of this photo. Well, what do you think? Topaz Sharpen AI becomes a great tool. I'm sure we all have images that we hope were a little bit better focus. And now Topaz Sharpen gives us a great option to save those images and be able to use them or even print them big. So I hope you're liking these episodes, and take a minute to subscribe, send me a comment or two, give me a thumbs up, and see you next time.